Good morning students. Welcome you all to YouTube live classes. I am Sarita MOHANTY from RAMA Women's HSS, lecturer in chemistry. In the previous class, we have completed the unit 12 of your syllabus, that is organic chemistry, some basic concept and techniques, and also we have started hydrogen. We have studied the occurrence of hydrogen and how the hydrogen is placed, or hydrogen has an anomalous position in the periodic table, because we have seen that hydrogen have some certain similarities with group 1 elements, while it has also certain similarities with group 17 element. Group 1 ta periodic table start re, group 17 ta pakha pakhi end re, but hydrogen has similarity with group 1 also with group 17 elements, but also some properties of hydrogen also differ from group 1 elements as well as group 17 elements. Hence, it has a special position in the periodic table and the position of hydrogen is still ambiguous. So, with this, let us start today's class with isotopes of hydrogens. So, what are isotopes? Isotopes कौन तुम्हें एटा स्कूल ले पढ़ी थी प्लस स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ एटम्स रे भी तुम्हें पढ़ी थी. Isotopes are different atoms belonging to the same element having same atomic number but different mass number. They differ in their mass number but same atomic number. Same atomic number नहले से माने गोटे element को belong करन्ते नहीं. So hydrogen has 3 isotopes, that is protium, deuterium and tritium. So hydrogen has 3 isotopes, protium, deuterium and tritium. The representation for protium is H11, the representation for deuterium is H12 and tritium is H13. The protium consists of maximum portion of hydrogen is actually protium, that is the relative abundance of protium is actually 99.984%. देखो the maximum तुम्हारा hydrogen माने ही कौन protium, and the protium contains 1 electron, 1 proton and 0 neutron. It has no neutron. Now let's come to deuterium. The relative abundance of deuterium is only 0.156%. That is, it has 1 electron, 1 proton and 1 neutron. देखो इटी गोटे कौन extra अच्छी neutron अच्छी. Hence the mass number differs. And in case of tritium, the relative abundance is only 10 to the power minus 15. This is a radioactive element, hence present in traces. It is stable नुहे. It is a radioactive element है ला. Radioactive isotope तारो. Electron 1, electron number of electron will remain same in the isotopes. Hence the number of electron is 1. The number of proton is also 1, but they differ in the number of neutrons because it has 2 neutrons. Okay. So, it can be represented pictorially like this. This is your hydrogen, that is protium contain 1 proton and 1 electron. This is your deuterium contain 1 proton, 1 neutron in the nucleus and 1 electron in the extranuclear part, and this is your tritium having 1 proton and 2 neutrons and 1 electron in the extranuclear part. Mark that they all have same number of electrons in the extranuclear part. सेमानंकर extranuclear part रे कौन होची ना same number of electron अच्छी. So आमर chemical properties टा कहाँ पर depend करे ना chemical properties depends upon the number of electrons, or you can say the electronic configuration. Chemical properties टा कहाँ जगह है electrons को जगह. Since they have same number of electrons or the same electronic configuration, so the isotopes behave similarly regarding the chemical reaction. Chemical reaction जो देखिवा से माने समस्ते same chemical reaction देखेबे. तुम्हारा hydrogen जेंती oxygen सहित combine करूची, deuterium भी सेंती oxygen सहित combine करके D2O दबो like H2O. But since they differ in their mass number or their mass number are different, the rate or the equilibrium at which the reaction or the equilibrium point will be different from different isotopes. एंकर कौन होबो ना रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन माने को रेट रे से माने गोटे रिएक्शन टे होउची सेटा डिफर करिवो फ्रॉम आइसोटोप टू आइसोटोप रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन और इक्विलिब्रियम विषय तुम सेकेंड ईयर रे आउ टिके अधिक पड़िबो हला सो फॉर एग्जांपल द प्रोटियम आमे जब देखिबा प्रोटियम रिएक्ट्स विथ क्लोरीन द रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन इज 13.4 times more faster if you take deuterium and chlorine the reaction between protium and chlorine suppose you take protium and chlorine the rate of reaction for this reaction will be 13.4 times माने एटा एतिक शीघ्र हबो than reaction between deuterium and chlorine एटा काहे होची due to their difference in the mass so the type of difference in the properties which arises due to difference in the atomic mass is called isotope effect हला तो isotope effect कोन ना the जो properties which differ from isotope to isotope due to different mass number or due to different atomic mass are called isotope effect है so physical properties of these isotope will also vary काहे कि ना तांकर physical properties कहा पर depend करे ना तुम्हारो mass ऊपर depend करे so physical properties will also vary from isotope to isotope है for example physical properties देखो तुम्हारो melting point एवढा देखो melting point टा gradually देखा तुमर जेते mass टा बढ़ी बढ़ी जाउची the melting point is gradually increasing from protium to deuterium to tritium है similar with that of boiling point these are all what physical property so remember that isotope will have different physical properties as they have different mass but they behave similarly regarding the chemical reaction so let's see what are the uses of tritium the tritium is highly essential for the nuclear weapons तुमर जो तुमर फिशन बॉम्ब हो जो एटॉमिक बॉम्ब हरिका पड़छ तार मेकानिज्म काम करिया पई ट्रिटियम इज हाईली एसेंशियल एंड आल्सो इट इज वाइडली यूज्ड एज अ रेडियोएक्टिव प्रेशर एटा कोन करे रेडियोएक्टिव प्रेशर हबे काम करे व्हाट आर रेडियोएक्टिव प्रेशर ना रेडियोएक्टिव प्रेशर्स are chemical species in which one of the atom is actually substituted by a radioactive nuclide गोटे एटम बदलले कोन हेतिबो सपोज हाइड्रोजन बदलले तुमरो प्रोटियम बदलले नॉर्मल हाइड्रोजन बदलले कोन लगा हेतिबो ट्रिटियम you know that radioactive substance they emit radiation beta radiation in case of tritium so they emit radiation so by if you trace that suppose tritium is there so it will radiate certain energy so if we can trace that energy we can trace in which path actually the tritium is moving or in which path the reaction is getting carried away ko path deki reaction ta kono follow kurchi so by tracing setme na hala kono radioactive pressure so by tracing the radioactive decay of the atom you can know the reaction mechanism hence it's used as a radioactive pressure and also why it is used because it is also cheap it is सहज cheap और it easy to work with now let's see the dihydrogen usually we will be calling hydrogen as dihydrogen why because in the elemental form hydrogen exists as H2 सबुळे एटा कोन था H2 रे थाए only at a very high temperature you will get the hydrogen atom hence throughout the chapter you will encounter the term dihydrogen instead of hydrogen so don't get confused dihydrogen means H2 so what are the chief sources of preparation of hydrogen hydrogen or dihydrogen can be prepared from water alkalis or acids मन रखता एटा तीनटा main source अछि water alkalis और acid usually are method of prepare methods गुड़ा होची तैयारी करियार so let us see the first method of preparation that is the laboratory method of preparation ए method of preparation ता तमे स्कूल पढ़ी पढ़ी आस्थबो एथरे कोन करा जाय in lab actually the hydrogen is prepared from zinc granules with reaction with dilute sulfuric acid. Zinc granules or zinc react with dilute sulfuric acid producing zinc sulfate and hydrogen. एठी कोन हबो ना zinc sulfate और hydrogen हबो देखो एठी hydrogen gas गुडा कोन है कि bubbles हे कि कलेक्ट होची हला एठी hydrogen gas गुडा कोन कलेक्ट होची एटा तमे स्कूल पढ़ी पढ़ी आस्थबो ए रिएक्शन टा तापरे it is prepared by the reaction of granulated zinc. So what is a granulated zinc? Granulated zinc means zinc metal with a higher surface area and higher particle size ता कह जाए granulated zinc है normal zinc और granulated zinc रे कौन difference ना granulated zinc will have a higher surface area and here the particle sizes are larger कहीं केटा करा जाए because you know that higher is the surface area higher is the chemical reactivity सेथि पे को कौन करा जाए ना zinc टा को निया जाए कौन granulated zinc हिसाब रे निया जाए so zinc usually in reaction with you can take dilute sulfur you can take sulfuric acid or you can take hydrochloric acid है zinc reacts with acid producing zinc sulfate or zinc chloride and hydrogen also zinc can react with aqueous alkali producing sodium zincate and hydrogen these are the two methods of preparation of hydrogen in the laboratory now let's see the commercial method of preparation. The commercial method of preparation involves first method is electrolysis of water. Actually electrolysis of water actually it is not pure water because pure water are very poor conductor of electricity hence some acid or alkalis are added to the water to carry out the reaction more easily. Let us see what is electrolysis. Actually the electrolysis is being taught in the class 12th. तुम्हारा electrolysis टा detail अच्छी class 12th रे. मुझे टी तुम गोटे brief idea दोची what is electrolysis. So electrolysis of water involves that is the formation of hydrogen and oxygen gas. So let's see what is electrolysis. So in here mark that electrolysis there are two terms एटी दीटा टर्म अच्छी कौन इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस देख ये कौन लिखा है इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस है सो इलेक्ट्रो कम्स फ्रॉम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी lysis means to break down so by the applying the electricity you are making a non spontaneous process or you are doing a non spontaneous process माने इलेक्ट्रिसिटी अप्लाई करिकी तुमे गोटे रिएक्शन कोन करूच जोटा कि यूजुअली हबा कथा नुहे सो दिस इज कॉल्ड इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस है सो इन केस ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस एन इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक टैंक इज देयर गोटे कंटेनर था जहाँ भितर कि नियाबो एन इलेक्ट्रोलाइट इज देयर जोटा को तुमे भांगिबा चाहछो ताको कह जाय इलेक्ट्रोलाइट एंड देयर आर टू मेटल प्लेट्स वन इज कॉल्ड कैथोड एंड अनदर इज कॉल्ड एनोड एट देखो एठी जोटा पॉजिटिव एंड ऑफ द बैटरी एटा सो तुमको एक्सटर्नल एनर्जी दबा पड़ियो बिकॉज इट इज अ नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस प्रोसेस सो द पॉजिटिव एंड ऑफ द बैटरी इज कनेक्टेड टू द प्लेट दैट इज कॉल्ड एनोड जोटा पॉजिटिव एंड ऑफ द बैटरी लगे ताको कह जाय एनोड एंड द नेगेटिव एंड ऑफ द बैटरी इज कनेक्टेड टू द प्लेट इज कॉल्ड कैथोड सो एनोड इज पॉजिटिवली चार्ज्ड एंड कैथोड इज नेगेटिवली चार्ज्ड ओके सो एनोड पाखु किए जीवो द एंड सिंस एनोड इज पॉजिटिवली चार्ज्ड तुमर जदि एनोडटा कौन है पॉजिटिव चार्ज है पॉजिटिव प्लेट है ताहले ता पाखु किए माइग्रेट करिवो ना नेगेटिव आयन्स विल माइग्रेट टुवर्ड्स एनोड एंड दीज नेगेटिव आयन्स आर कॉल्ड एनायन्स तो कौन कह जाए एनायन्स नेगेटिव आयनटा सब माइग्रेट करिवो कौन टुवर्ड्स एनोड सिमिलरली कैथोड इज योर पॉजिटिव सिमिलरली कैथोड इज योर नेगेटिव प्लेट कैथोडटा कहा को लगे बैटरी रो को एंड को नेगेटिव टर्मिनल को सो कैथोड इज नेगेटिव प्लेट है सो कैथोड नेगेटिव प्लेट माने ताड़ को किए माइग्रेट करिवो ना पॉजिटिव आयन्स will migrate towards the cathode and these positive ions are called cations तो कौन कहला these are called cations एति की बेसिक जिंस जानि था so during the electrolysis of water at cathode the hydrogen accept an electron and gets converted into H2 तो एठी कौन देखो कैथोड पाखरे किए बाहर छु माइग्रेट करची H2 जितेबाला कि एनोड पाखे किए जाए कि माइग्रेट कर वाटर जीव से तुम कौन बाहर ऑक्सीजन इवॉल्व हम एथिर आहरी गुडे टर्म अच्छी रिडक्शन पोटेंशियल अच्छी डिस्चार्ज पोटेंशियल अच्छी व्हिच विल बी टॉट टू यू इन द सेकेंड ईयर सेटा तुम 12th रे पढ़िबो इलेक्ट्रो रिडक्शन पोटेंशियल कोटा डिस्चार्ज पोटेंशियल कोटा एटा एठी काई माइग्रेट करची फॉर द टाइम बिंग यू नो दैट द positive ion will move towards the cathode and the negative ion will move towards the anode. Now let us see the second reaction of preparation of hydrogen, that is the reaction of steam on hydrocarbons or coke. Coke कौन तुम्हारा कोल जानिच कोयला तो कोल टाकू जेतेबेले आमे कौन करू इन द एब्सेंस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन आमे ताकू हीट करू सेटा कन्वर्ट हुए कोक कहीं करा जे ना एथरे जदि किछि इम्प्युरिटीज थाए तुमरो कोल रे सेटा कोन हुए सेडा सब वोलाटाइल इम्प्युरिटीज वोलाटाइल कंपाउंड जोड़ा थाए एंड मॉइस्चर थाए से माने इवापोरेट कर जानती तो तुमको कौन मिले कोक मिले व्हिच इज एनर्जेटिकली व्हिच इज मोर माने फेवरेबल देन coal for the reaction. Okay, so the reaction of hydrocarbons हमें already पढ़चे hydrocarbons पूर्व organic रे पढ़चे. So reaction of hydrocarbons with water एठी देखो जो water टा लिखा है ची water कौन लिखा है ची water gas रे लिखा है. So actually it is steam. So hydrocarbons when reacts with steam at a very high temperature you get carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Remember this term carbon monoxide, a mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen is called syngas. है तो कौन कहा जाए syngas कहा जाए. Why? Because it is used in the synthesis of methanol and many other hydrocarbons. है a combined mixture टा use करा जाए for the synthesis of methanol and many other hydrocarbon. एटा entrance रे बहुत तरह से what is syngas. So this is an important question. Do remember this. So then see if we can convert this carbon monoxide or if we can oxidize this carbon monoxide further we will get more hydrogen. So now the production of dihydrogen can be increased by reacting carbon monoxide with कौन ना steam. कार्बन मोनोक्साइड को फर्दर रिएक्शन कहाँ से करा जाए स्टीम से करा जाए. एज द रिजल्ट द कार्बन मोनोक्साइड गेट्स कन्वर्टेड टू कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. देखो कौन है ऑक्सीडेशन है. सो दिस वाटर इज गेटिंग दिस कन्वर्टेड एठी एटा कौन है रिडक्शन है. दिस इज कॉल्ड वाटर गैस शिफ्ट रिएक्शन. कहीं बिकॉज कार्बन मोनोक्साइड एंड हाइड्रोजन मिक्सचर कही कौन सिन मिक्सचर कह जाए सिन गैस कह जाए. ऑल्सो इट इज कॉल्ड वाटर गैस. इफ यू टेक 1:1 रेशियो देन इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड वाटर गैस. इनिशियली कहला वाटर गैस बर्तमान कहूँ सिन गैस. सो इफ यू ट्रीट द कार्बन मोनोक्साइड इवॉल्व इन द फर्स्ट प्रोसेस with further steam the carbon monoxide get converted into carbon dioxide and hydrogen. As a result you get more number of hydrogen. Presently about 77% of commercial synthesis of hydrogen is taking place by reaction with कौन हाइड्रोकेम जो पेट्रोकेमिकल्स लिखा है पेट्रोकेमिकल्स माने हाइड्रोकार्बन्स रु ही तुमरो मैक्सिमम कमर्शियल हाइड्रोजन टा प्रिपेयर हुए. नेक्स्ट कोट आसे 18% फ्रॉम कोल, 4% फ्रॉम इलेक्ट्रोलिसिस and 1% from other sources. Now let us see the properties of the dihydrogen. Now these are the physical properties. It is a colorless gas, it is a odorless gas, it is a combustible gas. From the school you know that hydrogen is combustible. It does not help in combustion, but it is itself is highly combustible. Then it is tasteless, it is insoluble in water and it is lighter than air. These are some physical properties of hydrogen. Now let us see the chemical properties. Sorry for the interruption, there is certain technical issues. Please wait for 1 to 2 minutes.
भाବରେ ଆମେ ସାତକୁ ଲେଖିବା
এইটা কাম করবো বোর্ড যাহা হইতলা সেতবেলে পুଣି নোট পড়ে আসছে class. So now let's start with the chemical properties of the dihydrogen. Now the chemical properties of any substance depends the bond dissociation enthalpy, or how, or you can say in simple words, how quickly the bond can break in the molecule and make available the atoms. So the bond dissociation enthalpy for hydrogen, that is H single bond H, is highest for any single bond between two atoms of any element. So from that you can know that hydrogen bond is actually quite stable and strong. If you see that at 2000 Kelvin, see the temperature is so high, but the dissociation of hydrogen is only 0.081%. 2000 Kelvin re kon hochi na only 0.081% of hydrogen will dissociate into its atom, hydrogen molecule. If you increase the temperature to 5000 Kelvin, then only you will get 95.5% of H2 molecule will dissociate to give you hydrogen atoms. So from this we know that the hydrogen is quite inert in the room temperature. So you can see that all the reactions of hydrogen are actually carried out at a higher temperature. Hydrogen bond बहुत strong, सेथि पाई maximum reactions of hydrogen कौन करा जाए, very high temperature रे carry out करा जाए. But if once the hydrogen atoms are formed, but once atomic hydrogen is formed, it is quite reactive. Why? You know the atomic configuration of hydrogen is, the atomic configuration of hydrogen hochi kono 1s1. So dekho यार orbital कोन अछि, half filled अछि, complete हैनी. Since it has an half filled orbital, once the hydrogen atom is formed, it will react very quickly. Mark karibo, hydrogen reacts with almost all the elements present in the periodic table. This is due to the reactivity of this hydrogen atom. So how this reaction or the reaction between hydrogen and other element take place? By three ways. Either the hydrogen will lose electron forming H plus, or the hydrogen will gain electron forming H minus or hydride ion, or the hydrogen will simply share one electron with another atom forming a covalent bond. So let us see the reaction of hydrogen with halogens, then with water. Let's see, oxygen. So action with halogen. Hydrogen reacts with halogens forming HX, hydrogen halides. And remember that the reactivity rate is fluorine greater than chlorine greater than bromine greater than iodine. That is, fluorine will react more quickly than chlorine, chlorine than bromine, bromine than iodine. It is a general common sense because you know hydrogen and fluorine marker. सबोले बॉन्ड टा कहा भितर सहज रुए, सबोले मन रखता बॉन्ड टा तमे कहा सहित भलरे सांग होई परियो ना, तम मेंटालिटी किंबा जहाँ सहित इक्वली मैच करतो. Similarly, for the formation of bond, the sizes, the atoms should have similar sizes. तो देखा हाइड्रोजन फास्ट रे बिलोंग कला, फ्लोरीन होची सेकंड पीरियड रो, बट क्लोरीन थर्ड पीरियड साइज आउरी बढ़ी गला, तापरे तापर आसला कौन तुम ब्रोमीन साइज आउरी बढ़ीगला आयोडीन साइज आउरी बढ़ीगला तो बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन टा कहा कहा भितर सब इजिली हो पारिबो ना हाइड्रोजन और फ्लोरीन भितर से द रिएक्टिविटी ऑफ हालोजेन्स विथ हाइड्रोजन इज फ्लोरीन ग्रेटर देन क्लोरीन ग्रेटर देन ब्रोमीन ग्रेटर देन आयोडीन. Next reaction with dioxygen. You all know this reaction, that is hydrogen reacts with oxygen forming water in presence of a catalyst. Mark, this reaction is highly exothermic. Delta H negative mane kono heat is being liberated. So this reaction is highly exothermic and it takes place in the presence of any catalyst. Reaction with dinitrogen. This reaction, that is reaction of hydrogen with nitrogen to give you ammonia in presence of iron as the catalyst, and the temperature is 673 Kelvin and pressure is 200 atmosphere. This process is called Haber's process. This is the process of synthesis of ammonia, industrial method of preparation of ammonia. Haber's process very important. It will be taught to you in the second year class जो थी कि तुम्हें group 15 टा पढ़िबो. Remember that ammonia is very important chemical agent काहे कि it is used for the preparation of fertilizers. सेथि पई hydrogen रो one of the chief uses होची it is the preparation of ammonia. एटा बहुत थोड़ा question आसे what is the catalyst used in the Haber's process हैला तो iron is the catalyst used in the Haber's process एटा मन रखथियो. Action with metals. Hydrogen reacts with metal forming metal hydrides, and we are going to discuss metal hydrides in detail. After some time we are going to discuss the metal hydrides in detail. So remember, hydrogen combines with metal forming metal hydrides, where here the example, the M stands for alkali or alkaline earth metals. Reaction with metal oxides. It reduces oxides of metals which are less reactive than iron to form corresponding metals. एटा गोटे important example तुम्हारा entrance रे बहुत थोड़ा से जे हाइड्रोजन टा कहा को reduce कर पारे को metal oxide को corresponding metal को reduce कर पारे. मन रखता the metals which are less reactive than iron, that is there is an activity series actually. This is called activity series of metals. Dear students, you have to remember this activity series. है ना तुम्हें जदि inorganic रे भलो करिया को चाहूचो, do remember the activity series of the metals. What is the activity series of metal? Now in activity series of the metals are arranged in the decreasing order of their activity. माने सबुटारो जे high reaction देखाए और high reactivity देखाए, that is placed at the top. जे तले रहिला तार रिएक्टिविटी ग्रेजुअली धीरे धीरे डिक्रीज करियो. दैट मीन्स पोटेशियम विल बी मोर रिएक्टिव देन दैट ऑफ द सोडियम. हैला सोडियम विल बी मोर रिएक्टिव देन लिथियम, एंड इट विल हेल्प यू इमेंसली फॉर रिमेम्बरिंग और फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द इनऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री. एटा सेथि पई डियर स्टूडेंट प्लीज हैव ए स्क्रीन कैप्चर एंड डू रिमेम्बर द टेबल. जिते पढ़ी पढ़ी जीव इनऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री मार्क करिवो ए टेबलटा तुमको सेते हेल्प करिवो. है मन रखता जोटा ऊपर अछि दैट कैन डिस्प्लेस द मेटल प्रेजेंट बिलो इट इन द सॉल्यूशन. Action with organic compounds. Now the unsaturated hydrocarbons undergo hydrogenation in presence of, that process is called hydrogenation. Hydrogenation means addition of hydrogen is called hydrogenation. So unsaturated hydrocarbons or unsaturated compound, that is compounds having double bond or triple bond, they add hydrogen to themselves giving important organic compounds. amar joda darkar achi diyanti. For example, let us see the hydrogenation of oil, vegetable oil giving you banaspati ghee. जो डालडा हरिका खाउचो सेटा केमिति हुए, this is done by hydrogenation of your vegetable oils like your soybean oil, तुम्हारा जो peanut oil, सेगुड़ा सब hydrogenation करा जाएगी. Why? Remember that these vegetable oil, these vegetable oils, they have number of double bond, बहुत गुड़े कौन थे double bond. So when these vegetable oils get in contact with air or oxygen for a longer period of time, they get oxidized and produce smaller number of aldehydes and carboxylic acids, and this give rise to a very pungent smell, okay, and this process is called rancidity. से कौन करे पंजेंट स्मेल दब जदि एटा कंटाक्ट रे ऑक्सीजन सहित किंबा एयर कंटाक्ट रे वेजिटेबल ऑयल जदि बहुत दिन आसीगला एटा कौन हम से डबल बॉन्डटा ऑक्सीडाइज है कि तुमको स्मॉलर एल्डिहाइड एंड कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड दब जोटा कि गोटे अनप्लीजेंट स्मेल तुमको दब. तो से प्रोसेसटा को स्टॉप करिया पे कौन करा जाए ना द डबल बॉन्ड आम कौन करूँ डबल बॉन्डटा को कन्वर्ट कर दो कोठी सिंगल बॉन्ड को थ्रू हाइड्रोजनेशन है थ्रू हाइड्रोजनेशन एंड यू गेट योर वेजिटेबल फैट. ताको कह जाए दैट इज कह जाए वनस्पति घी तुम जो पाउच दैट डबल बॉन्ड आर हाइड्रोजनेटेड है केमिति करा जाए इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ निकेल हाइड्रोजन गैस आर पास्ड थ्रू द ऑयल्स है एंड दे कन्वर्टेड इनटू सॉलिड फैट्स जोटा कि तुम घी रूप में खाऊ. सो नाउ लेट्स सी व्हाट आर द यूजेस ऑफ हाइड्रोजन. First uses होची कहथली एबे the largest uses of hydrogen is the synthesis of ammonia. It is because why ammonia is so important, because ammonia is used as a fertilizers in our कोन कोथरे तुमरो एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड रे ammonia रो maximum fertilizer ammonia रो derive होंती. Second देखिबा it is used in the preparation of highly important chemicals like your methanol and hydrochloric acids. Third होची manufacture of metal hydrides. We are going to discuss these metal hydrides. Next होची in the metallurgical process आमे देखले कोन hydrogen can reduce the oxides of the metals which are less reactive than iron to its corresponding metal. So in metallurgy hydrogen is used as a reducing agent to reduce the oxides of heavy metals. मन रखता heavy metals को होची कारण सेगुडा reactivity कोन कम. So these are used to reduce the heavy metals from their oxide to the corresponding metal. Also another use is it is used as a rocket fuel in space research, and the last one is it can be a source of energy, and we will discuss that at the end of this chapter in detail how the hydrogen can be used as a very good source of fuel. So now let's see what are hydrates. Hydrates are actually the binary compounds of hydrogen formed by between hydrogen and any other element. Hydrogen गोटे अलग element सहित जो compound तो करूची ताको कहा जाए hydrates है ना. So hydrates are general for, remember that except noble gases है ना, except noble gases and group 7, 8, 9 तुम periodic table रो एट देखो एट रहा कौन 7, 8, 9 अच्छी जो एक्सेप्ट ग्रुप 7, 8, 9 एंड नोबल गैस जोटा कि लास्ट रहा हाइड्रोजन फॉर्म कंपाउंड विथ ऑल अदर एलिमेंट्स है ए गैपटा कह जाए कौन हाइड्राइड गैप है. इंपोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन मन रखो ग्रुप 7, 8, 9 से कह जाए कौन हाइड्राइड गैप ता सहित ए ग्रुप ये जो मैंने रहिले मेटल सहित हाइड्रोजन कंबाइन करे नहीं. So hydrates can be divided into three types, that is ionic hydrates, covalent hydrates and metallic hydride, and we will discuss one by one. So what are ionic halides? Ionic hydrates. The ionic hydrates are formed between hydrogen and S block element. S block elements with the hydrogen reaction karibo, we will get ionic hydrates. Example तुम्हारा sodium hydride, calcium hydride एगुड़ा सब एग्जांपल होची कोन ना आयनिक हाइड्रेट. ना सजेस्ट करछि देखो आयनिक मींस दे कन्स्टिट्यूट दे आर एक्चुअली आयंस. एटा कोन आयंस हिसाब रे थंटे तुम सब तो कोन पाउछ आयंस हिसाब रे एमन सब अछंती. सो दे आर क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड्स एंड द क्रिस्टल लैटिस इज कन्स्टिट्यूटेड बाय आयंस. क्रिस्टल लैटिस माने जो थरे एलिमेंट ता तयारी. सो द क्रिस्टल लैटिस इज कन्स्टिट्यूटेड बाय आयंस. अल्काली मेटल्स हाइड्राइड्स को आम कौन कहे रॉक सॉल्ट कहे देख अल्काली मेटल हाइड्राइड को आम कौन कहे ना रॉक सॉल्ट कहे sorry alkali metal hydrides they have a structure similar to that of the rock salt structure hela and as you move down the group means from lithium hydride you go to sodium then potassium hydride then rubidium and cesium hydride their stability or thermal stability of the hydrides gradually decreases as you move down the group kahe ki now remember that is the size of the nucleus is the size of the suppose it देखो एटी हाइड्रोजन आउ लिथियम रहा एटा रहा दीटा न्यूक्लियस विथ डिस्टेंस बट is the size of the cation increases suppose this is hydrogen and this is your potassium so as the size of the cation increases the distance between their nucleus increases. As the distance between the nucleus increases, that means the force of attraction will decrease. तो force of attraction decrease करछि माने तांका stability कोन हो decrease करिवो lattice energy भी decrease करिवो. So remember that मु तुमको already कहि सारछि सब बेले bond टा similar size भितरे similar size जदि atom रो अछि बेसी भल रहे. So as you move down the group the size of the cation will increase and hence the distance will increase and the intermolecular the force of attraction will decrease hence the stability will also decrease. These are the bad conductor of electricity in solid state but kahe ki these are the bad conductor of electricity in solid state because solid state रे गुड़ा सब ions एमाने तमे solid state रे पढ़िबो second year रे जेहेतु these are ions they are fixed at their position से माने movement कर पारंती नहीं बट जेतेबेले तुमे तांको मोल्टेन स्टेट को आण किंबा सॉल्यूशन को आण से आयन आयन भीतर अट्रैक्शन टा कमी जाए तुमे तांको एनर्जी देलो हिट कलो माने कोन एनर्जी देलो सो दे स्टार्टेड मूविंग हियर एंड देयर एंड स्टार्टेड कंडक्टिंग द कोन करंट से माने कोन करंती इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कंडक्ट करिया स्टार्ट करंती किंतु सॉलिड स्टेट रे जेहेतु तांको पोजीशन आ फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन टा बहुत स्ट्रांग थे से माने तांको पोजीशन रे फिक्स थांती बट तमे तांको हिट कर दियो एनर्जी दियो से माने कोन करे निज फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन भांगी जिवो एंड दे कैन मूव हियर एंड देयर सो एट द मोल्टेन स्टेट दे कंडक्ट दे आर वेरी गुड कंडक्टर एंड द प्रेजेंस ऑफ हाइड्राइड एथरे H- अछि बोली हमें केमिति जानो बिकॉज इफ you do the electrolysis of the solution then you will get hydrogen at anode hydrogen produce होची anode माने कि anode पाको के जिवो anion negatively charged ता अर्थ एठी negatively charged के अछि H-. They react violently with water with that is the reaction is exothermic in nature and a large quantity of heat is produced. This one is also important, remember lithium hydride forms useful complex metal like lithium aluminum hydride. Mark this compound. Organic chemistry रे तुम बहुत थरे ये compound टा को encounter करिवो. So lithium hydride को जदि aluminium सहित reaction करा जाए you will get lithium aluminum hydride and it's a very good reducing agent. One of the finest reducing agent is lithium aluminum hydride which will be frequently used in the organic reaction. So metal hydrides are also used for the preparation of other complex hydrides. Now let us see what are covalent or molecular hydrides. Now these are the compounds formed by dihydrogen kaha sahita karibo na most of the p block elements. Hydrogen te p block elements sahita reaction kare they will form covalent or molecular hydride. Why it is called covalent? Because the bonding is actually covalent in nature, hence the name covalent hydrides. Example, your water, ammonia, these all are covalent hydrides. So covalent hydrides are divided into three types, that is electron deficient hydrides, electron precise hydride and electron rich hydride. If the hydrogen forms hydride with group 13 elements, तुम्हारा boron, aluminum एगुड़ा को group 13, then it is called electron deficient hydride. If it is forming bond with group 14, carbon silicon, it is called electron precise hydride. And if it is forming bonds with group 15 elements, nitrogen family, then it is called electron rich hydride. 15, 16, 17 जोटा भी हो 15, 16, 17 ता सहित कला माने कह जाए इलेक्ट्रॉन रिच हाइड्राइड्स. ओके, सो इलेक्ट्रॉन डेफिशिएंट हाइड्राइड. सो इलेक्ट्रॉन डेफिशिएंट हाइड्राइड कहे ग्रुप 13 से तो करछि एको इलेक्ट्रॉन डेफिशिएंट हाइड्राइड काई कहे जाय. देखो फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम टेकिंग बोरॉन BHH. boron can form 3 bonds. So BHHH. Now see how many number of boron, how many number of electron does boron have in its valence shell? Ketna electron achi? 6 electron. So its octet has not yet been satisfied. So it can accept 2 more electrons. It can accept 2 more electrons. It accept karibo. Hence they act as Lewis acid. Hala. So mane kon karanti? Lewis acid bhave kam karanti because they can accept the electrons. तो आंको कौन कहला इलेक्ट्रॉन डेफिशिएंट हाइड्राइड कारण एंकर ऑक्टेट टा सैटिस्फाई हे न थाए. नाउ ग्रुप 14 से तो कौन कहले इलेक्ट्रॉन प्रिसाइज हाइड्राइड. सबटा सिंपल एग्जांपल देखो कोटा तुमरो मिथेन CHHH H देखो यार कार्बन रो वैलेंसी बर्तन आउटर मोस्ट ले केतरा इलेक्ट्रॉन अछि 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर देयर. So its octet has been satisfied and no extra electron is available or it is not deficient in electron. सेति पय को कहा जाय इलेक्ट्रॉन प्रिसाइज हाइड्राइड जेतिके दरकार एग्जैक्टली सेतिकेटा इलेक्ट्रॉन अछि हला. एंड देयर एंकर स्ट्रक्चर ता सब कोन हेतु एंकर स्ट्रक्चर ता होची टेट्राहेड्रल. हमें ऑलरेडी पढ़चे मिथेन स्ट्रक्चर. नाउ इलेक्ट्रॉन रिच हाइड्राइड हला. इलेक्ट्रॉन रिच हाइड्राइड as the name is suggesting means there must be extra pair of electron available with the कौन element. For example तुम्हें देखो ammonia H ammonia bond कर साला परे तो फिर कौन रोची extra electron pair रोची which can be donated. सेति में कौन कहे जे electron rich hydride. ammonia हो एटा होची group तुम्हारा 15 रो तुम्हारा water हो even water O H. So 2 lone pairs are available with oxygen which can be donated, hence they behave as a Lewis base, hence these are called electron rich hydrides. Electron rich hydrides are the compounds formed between hydrogen and group 15, 16 and 17 elements. And the last one is metallic or non-stoichiometric or interstitial hydrides. Actually these are the hydrides which are formed between hydrogen and कोथरा ना तुम्हारा D block and F block metals को सेता करिवो. These are called metallic hydrides. ना suggest करछि with metals and these are formed by hydrogen with D or F block elements. Remember that except already कहि except group 7, 8, 9. Except कौन group 7, 8, 9 एमाने करंती नहीं. Even group 6 रा भी only chromium reacts with hydrogen, no other element reacts with hydrogen. तो 6, 7, 8, 9 7, 8, 9 सेमाने react करंती नहीं hydrogen से तो and this gap is called hydride gap. एठी actually कौन हुए देखो these are the metals हला एटा तुम गोट मेटल रो भीतर स्ट्रक्चर टाको देखाइ छै. These are the atoms of the metals. Atoms of the metal अछि देखो. This space is called interstitial space. The space which is found in between the metal atoms is called interstitial space. And the hydrogen atom देखो एगुडा होछि hydrogen एटा सब तक होछि hydrogen and this hydrogen atom occupies these interstitial spaces. कोड रहिछि ना दीटा metal atom भितरे जो gap टा थाए ता भितरे hydrogen थाए. This is called interstitial spaces. So the hydrogen atom occupies the interstitial spaces. सेथि पई तार ना कोन हला interstitial hydrides हला or metallic hydrides. तार characteristic कोन हबो ना they are hard. तुम जानछो metals गुडा hard. So the metal hydrides are also hard, having a metallic luster and they also conduct electricity, but their conductivity will decrease in comparison to the parent metal. and also they will have the magnetic properties. You know the metals are have magnetic property, and the density of the hydrates. Density of the hydrates, remember, density of the hydrates are lower than the density of the parent metal, because why? Now, due to occupation of the hydrogen in the interstitial spaces, the lattice size actually expand, and is the result of which the density decreases. And these are non-stoichiometry, because the laws of constant composition does not hold good. Metals, remember that this is also important. Metals like hydrogen, palladium and platinum, they can absorb a lot of hydrogen molecule. तो सेमान देखो जमती स्पंज टा अछि, स्पंज रे तुमे पानी बुड़े दियो कोन हो, स्पंज टा अब्सॉर्ब कर दे. Similarly, water molecule को similarly, the palladium and the platinum metal, they can absorb a large volume of hydrogen. So they can act as a reservoir for hydrogen storage. In future maybe a metal kuda use kara habo, jetole fuel pai use kara jiba hydrogen ko, they can act as a reservoir of hydrogen. So with this I am concluding today's class.